You can drive, I'll close my eyes, dear. Wake me up when you think that we're near. It's been so long since we filled the tank up. Let's run out and start anew where we stopped. Push the car to the closest village, change our names and live like newlyweds. Find an empty home, something rent controlled. I'll pay first and last, we'll live out our new normal. Our new normal, normal. Our new normal, let's go. We could shop at the local thrift store. We've got things, but there's probably room for more. We'll read books and tend our gardens. Spring softens what winter hardens. Open up a store. We'll sell vintage clothes. I'll sell my LPs. We'll live out our new normal. Our new normal, normal. Our new normal, let's go. Start a band. I could call you Paul. I'll be your Linda. Up ahead we see salvation, sudden glow of a filling station. We can choose to face the lights, or maybe we'll drive into the night. Thank you so much. It's so nice to be here in the bunker. It's been a while since I've played in front of people. Post-COVID, I kind of forgot how to book shows. I don't know why. I certainly booked enough of them beforehand, but I don't know what it was. Taking a few years off, kind of like, I almost want to say reset some things, but it's not even that. It's like buried some things. I don't know. But that song that I just played, New Normal, is going to be on my new album. And that was written when we were all talking about leaving the city in the first few months of COVID. Some people did, some people didn't. We were the ones who didn't. And, well, what is that? Now we're furiously never leaving, so we're in Toronto for good. This is an older song. I released an album in 2014 called William, and this is a song I wrote, and a little songwriting note. Sometimes you write songs and then you don't know how you wrote them, and if someone asked you to, you could never write them again, and this is one of those songs, and it's called In Conversation. right spot. Sorry. Write a song of peace, she said. I'd love to find one in my head, but sometimes there's just cobwebs and TVs. I could write a song of love and loss, of deep regrets, dramatic cost, 'cause that's the way the muses carried me. Oh, I know there's peace in rock and roll, and oh, I know it's out of my control, and oh, I know it terrifies my soul. It sometimes worries me. What would my great hero say if he heard me carry on this way? I just don't think he'd really give a damn. Used to think of peace and love, but gave it all for God above, and now he plays the blues in holy lands. Oh, I know there's peace in rock and roll, and oh, I know it's out of my control, and oh, I know terrifies my soul. It sometimes worries me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. A song of peace, a protest song, a grand display of right or wrong. I've never been at comfort with those terms. I used to think in black and whites, but grays have taken up my side. I start to reconsider what I've learned. Oh, I know there's peace in rock and roll, and oh, I know it's out of my control, and oh, I know it terrifies my soul. It sometimes worries. It sometimes worries. Yes, thank you. So during the, I don't want to keep harping on those downer years, but I gotta say that I was able to do a lot of things I normally don't get enough time to do, like watch a whole bunch of movies, which is a lot of fun for me because I consider myself a movie buff, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching movies and digging into movies. And so I became somewhat of an expert on Italian horror films from the 70s and giallis and things like that that make for very poor conversation. But I didn't want to stop with musical endeavors, so with a group of friends we put together a mixtape, kind of a way to keep the community going, called In Basements in Isolation. A group of us, we had a Sunday night thing called In Basements on Sundays at Winona Lodge, and so when we had all that downtime, we did this mixtape, and we raised money for the Toronto Artist COVID Fund, and it was a really fun endeavor, and this is one of the songs that I wrote for it, and the idea was that people would just record in their house, or whatever gear they had, a song for the comp. So you get some people who have home studios that sound really big and well produced, and you get other people who are recorded on an iPhone or something. And it was really lovely way to keep people engaged. And this song I had actually written a little bit before, but it ends up working out pretty good because it's about enjoying isolation a little. It's about getting time by yourself to do the things you love. And it's called When No One's Around. Rain clouds forming outside my room. My thoughts are woven threads on a loom. Is it summer yet? I can't take winter's gloom. I like this place when no one's around, attracted to each hum-popping sound. The floorboard's creaking, 'cause I'm just sneaking around. And all my plants have names that start with J. I try to sing to them each day when no one's around. I love my friends, so don't get me wrong. It's hard for me to work on my songs. I get antsy when there's people plodding along. So here's a joke I tell to myself. Why'd the orange care for its health? You see, it wasn't peeling very well. And all my plants have names that start with J. I try to sing to them each day when no one's around. When no one's around. When no one's around. Yeah, ooh. So that ended up on on that compilation, which was very cool. It also ended up on a cassette I made. So the neatest thing that I found out of coming out of such an interesting experience as we all did over the last few years was. I don't know if I can swear on here or not, but okay, so I kind of had this really neat thing where I was like, who fucking cares, you know? And I was like, I'm gonna release 3 cassettes over the next few years of like, the first cassette I released was of a bunch of recordings I had and I didn't know what to do with them. And I thought they were cool, so I just kind of mixed them myself and added some different like ambient sounds and things. And I was really proud of that. And then I had all these songs from projects I'd worked on that I released as another cassette. And then a third cassette I released of an ambient project called Will Moore that I did with my friend David Gluck because no one listened to it the first time I released it. So I figured someone might listen to it if it's on cassette. And no one really did. But it was still a lot of fun to do. And because who fucking cares? You gotta do what you love, and that's kind of it, you know. Just enjoy yourself and who cares if anyone listens to it, or if anyone's going to think it's bad for your career or whatever, you know? Hopefully that translates okay, but anyways. So I've played one new song for you called New Normal. I'd like to play another new song. I'm just starting to record an album. I'm not too sure when it'll be out, hopefully early next year. And this is a song about, I would go for these walks and through the park. I live near Hyde Park. And every day I would download one album that I'd either sort of ignored or maybe given a bad rap or whatever, and try to get something out of it. So one day it'd be Slayer, you know, and the next day it'd be Celine Dion, or it'd be, you know, and it was a great process, and I learned so much about my listening habits and things like that. So this is sort of about that. It's called All Is Lost, All Is Fine. Walking through the woods, slow and dense crescendo in my ears. It softens robins chirping, park bench broken, twisted steel. The ground once frozen takes my heel. Medicate with trees, I heal myself with sunshine when I can. An optimist in decline, I'm uncertain and moving slow. The more I learn, the less I know. Sadness, gladness, falling, mending. All is lost, all is fine. Thinking of the past, a melody of presence asks of me what could still be coming. Dark cloud forming around my mind, as dark clouds form in real time. Sadness, gladness, falling, mending. Sadness, gladness, falling, mending. All is lost, all is fine. Ooh, thank you. This is some lovely tea. I like a licorice tea. You know, I'm going to change it up a bit, because I wouldn't mind playing a song about my cat, if that's okay. This is we had a cat named Franny, and She passed away last year, unfortunately, which is really upsetting for us because she was a wonderful companion. She arrived at my house when my partner moved in 4 years ago. And I wrote this little song for her before she passed. And I like to sing it to remind me of her. We've since got a new cat named Tony, who's also lovely. Who's a real cuddler, and I don't know, I've never had a cat who was such a cuddler before, and it's a delight. Franny stares, she looks right through me to the clock on the wall. What does she do when we're away? Does she think about the weather? If we miss her, does she miss us as well? Does she worry about the future? I wish that there was some way to tell. Franny purrs. She crawls onto her back and stretches her paws, offering up her belly for pets. How did we end up with this creature, sharing space and living with us rent-free? Could they have known in ancient Egypt domestication would bring Franny to me? Yeah, that's dedicated to Franny. Franny purrs a lot, McLeod. R.I.P. Tony's full name is Tony Broccolini Clarke McLeod. So I'm gonna play one more song for you. This has really been lovely. Thank you so much for having me. You two are really great, and this is a wonderful service you folks do for artists who desperately need places to play and to get video content and all that stuff that we so desperately need, especially up-and-coming artists. So you're doing quite a service here, so thank you. So I can take that sniff out if you want. The problem with using a lot of alternate tunings is you gotta try to think of clever things to say in between songs, and I haven't really learned how to do that exactly. Okay, so this last song I'm gonna play for you is from my last album, my last studio album, which I recorded and released in 2017, and it's called Topaz, the album. And this song is called Autumn in New Brunswick. And it's about something I haven't done in a long time. It's about touring. And touring is a wonderful place to meet other musicians and form very strong bonds. And you meet all sorts of people. It's actually, that's kind of the big draw to it for me, is you can meet people from other countries, from wherever. And it's just so nice, and you learn a lot about people that way, and and I miss that. And many years ago, I did a tour of the East Coast with a band called Olenka and the Autumn Lovers, and they were out of London, Ontario, and I used to play with them. And this song is about that tour, and it's called Autumn in New Brunswick. So thank you so much. My name is Shawn Clarke. At the end of the day, sunlight is fading fast. We're on our way, another damn tank of gas. Long empty roads, tree lines play cold refrains. My passenger seat, warm, torn, and coffee stains. Sad slide guitar moans on the radio. Our pastoral scene scored by Blue Rodeo. A small masterpiece, it's only now that you see. If I were to look past my cool mask, I would agree. But I see Oh, I think we spent our last night in Montreal. My eyes are heavy, I hear sleep's whispered call. The breeze sheds leaves from trees with ease and fall, and it quietly leads us to Fredericton, Sackville, or Moncton. Oh, it quietly leads us to Fredericton, Sackville, or Moncton. Oh, it quietly leads us to Fredericton, Sackville, and Moncton. At the end of the day, sunlight is fading fast. We're on our way, another damn tank of gas. Thank you so much.